What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition Power Gamers Tactics Room. I'm your host, Bill Braun Bafflestone, and today we are having an episode of my review and rating series, this time looking at the new magical items from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything that confer bumps to caster stats. There is a range of them, and upon close examination, they are very intriguing to the power gamer. So let's take a look. So we will look at these in alphabetical order, starting with the all-purpose tool. Intended for artificers, confers a +1, +2, or +3 to attack rolls and save DCs with artificer spells. This occupies the hand, so could potentially cause issues if you have, say, a shield in the other hand, and then you want to cast spells that require a material component, yada yada. Might need Warcaster for that. Just be aware there are issues by requiring it to occupy the hand. As an action, you can create any artisan's tools, and you get automatic proficiency in them. So kind of a cool thing, but not too much impact in combat. And it allows the artificer to add a cantrip of any class spell to the artificer cantrip list. And that's pretty nice. Artificers only start with 2 cantrips, and to add one from any spell list is really sweet. I mean, Eldritch Blast immediately leaps to mind. But I only give this a rating of average. As we see, the others are either better or worse. Next, we look at the Amulet of the Devout. This is intended for clerics and paladins, and similar to the all-purpose tool, but note the important difference that it confers the attack rolls and save DC bonus to any of your spells. That means it combos with any of these similar items if the PC has a cleric or paladin dip. It also doesn't occupy the hand, and it confers an extra channel divinity per day, which is really nice. Clerics and paladins do not get too many of those, so a +1 in that department is really good. And so the Amulet of the Devout gets a rating of superior. Next, we have the Arcane Grimoire. This is intended for wizards, and it is restricted to applying the bump to wizard spells. It does occupy the hand. However, it can break Summon Greater Demon, as I mentioned in my previous video on Summon Greater Demon, and especially if you combine this with an Amulet of the Devout, you could get potentially a +6 on your save DCs. That is going to blow Summon Greater Demon wide open, and you will just be ridiculously powerful. And as a power gamer, that's what you want. So if you can stack these two things, yes, bring that on. You also get +1 spell level regained with Arcane Recovery, which is okay. So I give the Arcane Grimoire a rating of good. I almost gave it an average, but just the fact that you can break Summon Greater Demon with this bumps it up. Next, we have the Bloodwell Vial. This is available to sorcerers. It applies the bump to sorcerer spells. It does not occupy the hand, and you regain 5 sorcery points if you use a hit dice to heal. That is fantastic. Sorcery points are super valuable. Do note, it says regain, so that implies that you can't go over your max. And also note, this combo is great with Dwarven Fortitude, because that allows you to use a hit dice to heal whenever you take the dodge action. So that would basically give you a combat regeneration of sorcery points. Overall rating, good. Almost wanted to give it superior, but then I remembered, you know what, Amulet of the Devout applies to all spells. So if it lacks that, it can't be superior, relatively speaking. Next up, we have the Moon Sickle. This is available to druids and rangers, applies only to druid and ranger spells, must occupy the hand, applies a D4 to all healing spells, which is pretty nice because it's always on, and check with your DM to see if it applies to Goodberry, because if it applies to Goodberry, man, that is just another amazing combo. So I give the Moon Sickle a rating of good. Next up is the Reveler's Concertina. This is for bards, and this is not quite in the same category. It doesn't confer a +1, +2, or +3. It's just a straight +2 only to the save DC, does not apply to attack rolls, but is only one of 2 Bard items, as we'll see. So that's okay. Must occupy the hand. Autos Irresistible Dance once a day, a 6th level spell. Yes, that's fantastic. So I give this a rating of average, but it's good if you combine it with the Rhythm Maker's Drum, which I will talk about in a minute, or the Amulet of the Devout, and it's superior if you can combine it with both of these things. Again, I'll talk about that in a second, because let's move right on to the Rhythm Maker's Drum, also for bards. So they got 2 items, and this one is more in line with the others with a +1, +2, +3. It applies only to bard spells, must occupy the hand. An action to regain 1 use of bardic inspiration, that's pretty cool. And similarly to the Reveler's Concertina, it gets a rating of average in isolation, good if combined with one of those, and superior if combined with both. I mean, if you can get all 3 of these things, the bard is at +8 potentially on his save DCs. That is crazy good. I mean, crazy good. So a power gamer should definitely take note of that. And if you can put this combo together, man, you are going to be a very charming bard. Let me put it that way. Final thing to note, not an item technically, but it should be called out that Warlocks get butt key. They didn't get an item. I went through it twice just to make sure, but they did not get an item. So clearly rating inferior. Why should they get left out? That's not cool. So that's it. That's my rating of the items. And as we can see, they are really, really powerful, game-changingly powerful. And I don't know if this Amulet of the Devout thing is a typo and will get corrected later, but in the meantime, that thing is amazing. It stacks with the other ones. So if you can put those things together, and if you can break Summon Greater Demon and just reliably throw out a Chasme whenever you want that can't break its save and will last the full 1 hour duration, man, that's pretty sweet. Power gamers should definitely pursue that if you can. I think I might be trying to do that one myself. So let me know what you think in the comments, whether you agree or disagree or have any other further game-breaking combos that you can pull off with these rather incredible items. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition Power Gamers Tactics Room. I'm your host, Bill Braun Bafflestone. See you next time.